Nope, there you are.
Are we supposed to, Lucky? Steve, are we supposed to applaud?
Last one in does the dishes, remember?
There you go.
That's when it gets.
Last one here does the dishes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, there, Steve.
Yeah. Nice trip, huh?
It was good. It was great.
Beautiful
It
place.
was a lot cooler than
Time.
About time. Yep.
It was
Ryan?
beautiful.
Good. All right. City Council will come to order. Call the roll, please.
Ely. Here. Godwin.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
White.
Here.
Willman. Brown.
Here. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes. Any addition or correction? If not, those will stand approved. Approval of the agenda. We do have a need for an executive.
No, we don't.
Or we don't at this time. Okay, I'm sorry. So we have nothing to add at this time then.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to approve the agenda as presented. Discussion? Call the roll?
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. Okay, moving on, public hearing. We do have one item tonight, zoning recommendation for 301 East Fifth Street. Anyone wishing to speak on that matter? If not, anyone else wishing to address council?
The mayor and I have been talking, and today we had a conversation about the vehicle thefts and thefts from vehicles. One thing that, 10 days ago, we had a car get broken into, and the gentleman stole the car, and we got into a pursuit with it. And what we're finding is a lot of times people are coming from out of town, and they're just sort of spreading out, checking for unlocked vehicles. So we want to pass along to citizens, the mayor and I, that if you could lock your vehicles, that would really help us, and it would protect your vehicles. These vehicles, a lot of them that they're getting into are unlocked and the keys are in it. So you're kind of lobbing them a softball there. So do yourselves a favor, and I have no problem with us chasing these people and catching them and, prosecuting them as much as we can, but it would just be safer if we just lock our vehicles and we don't have to worry about it as much. Other than that, everything else at the police department is going pretty smooth right now. We hired 2 officers. They just finished the academy and were sworn in yesterday. Braden Russell and Seth Conway. We also hired a dispatcher, Cameron Hupman. She started, so we're fully staffed in dispatch. We have 1 opening for patrol that we'll probably look at filling later this summer or early fall. Other than that, if there's any questions.
Not a question, but just congratulations on your recent achievement there.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks for coming up. Anyone else wishing to address council?
I had somebody call me today, and they wanted to know, those bricks that are down there by the Annie Oakley statue. She went down, she had bought some of them, and she's noticing that the paint is coming off and you can't read them anymore, or you have a hard time reading them. Well, is she supposed to bring paint and try to fill them in, or what's the protocol on that? I mean, are they all gonna wear down and then you won't be able to read them? I haven't been down to see it because I got the phone call this afternoon, so I haven't.
That's the first I've heard of this.
Yeah.
First I've heard of it, well, it's that
area is a park, so it's managed by the park board, so I'll bring it up to the park board and see
Okay.
if they want to do something different.
And I know, I forgot to bring this up at the park board meeting, but she was also interested in buying a tree in memory of somebody, and she wanted to know if the prices were the same, or can she get a price list so she can ask some other people to, can I stop in your office, Mr. Delk, and get a price list?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then the other thing, don't laugh at this, but you know I raise butterflies, and I seen on Facebook that you guys are going to be spraying for mosquitoes, and I don't know if you know that it will harm them, because it will. When you spray, I will actually cover my plants up tomorrow night, because once those chemicals get on your flowers and whatever, and the honeybees and the butterflies land on that, they will consume that chemical. And so I'm asking people around my neighborhood to get up Thursday morning and give their flowers a good bath and wash that chemical off, because I've let go over 60 monarchs in the last 4 weeks. It's taken me hours and hours to find the eggs and the caterpillars, and it just makes me ill. I have 4 at home right now I refuse to let out until this is all said and done. Will we be having any more spraying, or is this going to be it for the season, Mr. Delk? Do you know?
It just depends how many complaints and how bad the
Okay,
mosquitoes
and my
are.
complaint don't count. So, anyway, so if you would be so kind, if you've got flowers and you've got butterflies, get up Thursday morning, because it's north of the creek. And so if you'll give them a bath to wash that chemical off, because it did say, keep your windows closed and bring in your pets. So that's a little scary when you think about it. So that's all I have today.
Thank you. Anyone else? Good evening, Jordan Harmon with Priority Power. Just want to give the council an update on where we are, because at this point, we're still continuing with the city of Greenville in our program until we're told otherwise. The electric aggregation bids are out to suppliers. There's a capacity auction that will be, results will be announced later this month, and then the bids for our group that the city of Greenville is a part of will come back after the capacity results are known, and suppliers have the chance to incorporate those into their bids. So there is the potential that our group could be ready to go by the end of this month. So I just wanted to make sure council was aware of that. Heading into, I know you guys are still weighing your decisions on which company to use, and we're both here tonight. So be aware of that. Gas, we have 2 suppliers who have expressed interest in providing us fixed rate for the gas programs before this upcoming winter. So we should be able to secure a gas aggregation contract under a fixed rate like we have traditionally done for the gas program. Those bids will actually go out in August. We got to get data from the utility from CenterPoint before we can put the bids out, so we're waiting on that. Outside of that, I know with us, communication has been the big issue. Couple missed calls and voicemails that I didn't get back to Ryan and answer your guys' questions. Apologize again for that, own that mistake. Obviously, I've been here for 3 weeks in a row, or 3 council meetings in a row now. Certainly not a problem to be here and be in attendance and keep you guys up to date and informed on where things are. And I think that pretty well covers it. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Before you,
Got one question?
before you leave there, Jordan, one of the first meetings you were here for, you talked about, we got into a discussion about the natural gas and where the fixed rate that you provided for this last period wasn't as conducive, was very uncompetitive to the SCO over time.
Correct.
And you made a comment about sending out letters. Part of our process is, I think, if I can quote, I think what you said was, part of our process when we have a situation like that is to send out letters to advise people that there's a better alternative than our fixed rate. I think that was a statement. The question was asked, did you, if that's the case, did you send out letters? And you said, I have to go back and check.
No, we did not. We went back and checked. We do not send out letters to residents. What we would do is advise the communities of the situation in the market. We did not do that, and I looked back. The reason we did not do that is because that SCO is a variable rate, and just as quickly as it came down, it could have gone back up heading into the winter. So we ended up deciding not to make any recommendation, let that contract ride out and see where we were at the end of it. Hindsight, that was the wrong decision. We should have communicated to residents that their options were the SCO on a variable market-based rate versus the fixed rate that we had secured for the city's gas aggregation program. Going forward, I think the strategy remains it should be a fixed rate for the aggregation. The percent off the fixed adder of the SCO nets $5 in savings to the average gas household. So in my opinion, it's not really worth tying into a contract for that little of savings on the gas side versus fixed rate approach that hedges and protects from those spikes in the winter that potentially could come.
Okay, but looking back, wouldn't it have been prudent to have communicated to the community at least the reason why you weren't recommending an alternative? I mean, talk about the communication. You said we decided that it was better to not do anything. Wouldn't it have been better to explain why and to help us understand why?
Certainly, absolutely. It's always better to keep you guys more informed and more educated. Again, I acknowledge that was a mistake looking back in hindsight.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want these? I'm Joe Garrett with Traybell Energy. I have never, here's one more. I've never officially met Jordan. I have heard of him. He seems like a nice guy. And I say that because I'm going to disagree with him, but it's not personal. I did want to come. I sent out an email. I wanted to get some information together. I sent it to Ryan. He mentioned that he had forwarded it on to you guys. I believe Councilman White had made a comment that it didn't seem like we were concerned with savings, which at the last meeting, which was, I think Ryan said that was a misinterpretation, but I just wanted to clear it up. And so I provided some information. Traybell manages a total of 188 electric and natural gas programs in the state of Ohio. Last year, we saved those communities over $98 million. Savings is important to us. We are aware that, and I think listening to part of what Jordan said is, savings and price stability are the two main points of an aggregation program. We're aware of that. Okay, even though it's an opt-out, you can get out, because mistakes do happen, right? You make the best decision that you can, and then the market reacts, and, the nice part is people can opt out. Now, I will disagree on the gas, which I'll get to in a second. I also provided in that email that's been passed out to you, and this is where, it's not personal, but in my 11 years, I don't remember never returning a phone call. I've never had that complaint. Jordan or Ryan spoke to some of our communities. I don't believe one of them ever said that. I take calls in the evening, take calls on the weekend, and not just to council members and locally elected. I talk to residents on weekends. They'll call me. So that part I don't understand. Then I also compiled, since it was mentioned, a comparison between Greenville and city and the township. I compiled from 2017 on what some of those rates were. There was a missing year on the cities on the electric, and I don't know if that was actually got put back to utility. I didn't do a deep dive, or if it's just an error on the PUCO reporting page.
Which year was missing?
What's that?
Which year was missing?
It was in the 20 to 23. There appears to be between the 488 and the 499, there appears to be a year missing there based on the opt-ins and opt-outs. But again, that may, so what I'm saying, I'm just acknowledging that there's, that's there, and I'm not saying there was an error there. I'm just saying the error could be, the PUCO reporting, though good, is not always, they make mistakes too. But I think when you look at that, what you see is the majority of the time, our program was cheap. The prices were cheaper. I think the confusion was what we were saying is, service and the way you operate your programs is important to getting that pricing. This was the point that I guess I was trying to make that I think was missed. I think, market timing, right now, markets are up. Going to bid in July right now, he's not looking forward to those results. Probably hoping that, but you have time for them to come down, but hopefully we'll be doing that for you. I will disagree on the gas. We have done a percentage off program that has the ability to lock in a fixed rate. We did that in Greenville when you did that higher rate because we knew that fixed rate was, the market rates, we disagreed, we knew it was high. And the price you settled on, we knew it was high. But that was what the market was at the time. And we put our folks back to the utility for, I think it was 2 or 3 months, because we believed the market would come down. It did. And that's when we put them there because, that was the way, it creates some confusion for sure in the community. But the rate was so high at that time, and we knew it was coming down because of something that was going on in the marketplace. It was just the right thing to do for savings. So I just want to kind of clear up from that standpoint that you don't save $98 million. 1 in every 3 communities that has aggregation in the state of Ohio is with Trey Bell. So we're big, and we didn't get that way by not looking at savings. And we have folks, I get a report every day where the markets are. So savings is something that we're always looking at. But one of the best ways to get savings is to operate your programs in a way and communicate that information of what is going on. This capacity charge made the news in July of 24. We were talking to our communities about it, not now. It's old news. It should have been when you have residents that you have to communicate to, and you want to discuss how are we going to communicate this so that they're not confused. You need that information as soon as available, not when it's time to make a decision. And so, and we make sure we do that. And so that's my quick pitch for tonight. I'll talk forever. So, but I just to make sure, hopefully you guys will choose to make a change, let Trey Bell manage your program, and nothing gets Jordan. He seems like somebody that I'd get along with pretty well. I just think that there's some errors made and opportunity to, give us a try, see if we do better. Thank you.
Hold on
Yes.
a second, Joe.
Got a question?
Thank you. First, that 98 million is a big number. Over 12 months. Over 188 programs. So that's like $500,000 per program. Can you just give me some kind of a simple, how you measure that? You measure from what the highest somebody's charging to what we ended up charging?
It's the price of the program versus the cost to compare price. So whatever that cost to compare price would be for the month. So whatever the SCO rate was.
So it's a straight comparison?
Yes, so
month to month,
this is,
SCO.
yeah, so whatever utility they're in, because we're in all.
Pluses and minuses.
Yeah, we're in all of them. So what the program price was versus what the utility rate was, we do that every month. And it totals up. And it's a big number because we have a lot of accounts here in Ohio. There's somebody talking someplace else tonight, but, and I asked for some stats, and of course I got way more than I wanted to share.
I'm trying to grasp, is 98 million a 2% savings, a 5% savings?
I don't know. I would say it's more than 2%. Yeah, I mean, it's on the electric side. We went through a period, we went through a period where rates, the utility rates went up quite a bit, and some of the programs were in place, and, people were saving 20, 25%. And that helps, right? That chunks away. It's not always that way. It's been as low as 5% over the years, over the last, 11 years for me. And then it moves up. It's cumulative. We service 3.6 billion just KWH a year, okay? Or, I'm sorry, annually, yes. 3.6 billion kilowatts. So when you take that number, yes, it adds up. 450,000 plus participants, over 150 communities make up that 188. We have a 99% retention rate. Our clients don't leave us.
Okay, but you're showing the 98 million savings in the
Yes.
last 12 months
Yes,
of gas and electric
yes,
combined.
yes.
Obviously, you save more in gas and less or more in electric.
Well, electric's used a lot more than, gas
less
is used
than
3
gas.
months out of the year, so yeah.
So when was that time in that last 12 months that you told customers to go to the SCO because there was a problem?
That was probably, I'd have to go back and look. That was probably 3 or 4 years ago, so that's not
It
included.
didn't happen in the last 12 months.
No. There's been 2 times I've been with Trey Bell for 11 years. There's been 2 times, and both of them have been at least 4+ years ago, that we sent people back to utility for a period of time because the savings of what was available in the marketplace and what the SCO rates were generated the best savings for them.
So just out of curiosity then, what was your fixed rate or your aggregation rate for natural gas over the last 12 months?
It varied from, the majority were between 5.6 and 56 cents a CCF and 59 cents a CCF.
Okay, but wasn't that about the same time frame, the SCOs between 30 and 40?
Well, sure,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Sure.
So but you're counting that as a negative?
Yeah, I mean, and again, the previous 2 years, if you look historically, rates were pushing $1 a CCF through the winter, and so the thought process there is, again, creating a kind of a safety net, right? That if the rate stays at 36, which based on the previous couple of winters doesn't look to be the case, then it's not such a good deal. But if it follows the previous history and goes to 80 cents, 90 cents a dollar, it looks great. So part of that is and the problem is when it does start going up, right, at the utility level, when you start to see these increases, the market adjusts. So it's not like the utility goes to 80 cents, so I can immediately, we can get 40 cents now. No, you're going to get 80 cents too. And so you're planning ahead using information of where the market's at, things that you think may or may not affect it. There is some things that are coming. There is a lawsuit on the pipeline. It does not affect CenterPoint as greatly as it does Columbia, but it does affect them. And it's looking like there's going to be some resolution to that, which could have an effect on natural gas as well.
I'm going to try one more.
Okay.
You quoted a number of how many kilowatts you're managing or aggregating in total across these 188.
Yes.
So for a point of reference, what's a penny savings worth on that number of kilowatts?
Divide by 1,000 and multiply.
That's what I was going to let you do. I didn't.
So I could probably do it in my head, but if you really want me to.
I want to.
But
As a relation to this 98 million is what I'm trying to figure out how that fits. But go ahead.
Yeah, so you would take 98 million, divide by 1,000, any of you that want to pull out your phone.
No.
And multiply it by a cent. That would be.
That's not what you said. That's not what you measure against. It's the kilowatts, isn't it?
No, what I'm saying is, your question was, how much is a penny? So on a kilowatt, a penny is going to represent.
How many kilowatts are you managing? 4, you said 4.
No. We're managing 3.6 billion, I'm sorry,
3.6 billion. Okay.
kilowatts. Yes. I mean, that's company-wide. The point there is we have a big footprint in Ohio, a very big footprint in Ohio.
Right, so when it moves a penny on that 3.6 billion, how much savings is that? That's what that's what I'm trying to,
Thank you. Per kilowatt.
right.
We'll check, I think you're right. So 36. Yeah. Yep. 36 million. You gotta understand there that we saw a period here, which is kind of, I don't know if it's happened since aggregation started, where you were saving 3 and 4 cents a kilowatt. I mean, that just doesn't happen, but it did. And so the savings add up pretty fast.
So the 98 million is kind of an anomaly of savings.
The savings for all programs throughout the state of Ohio in the last few years has been an anomaly, I would say. I don't think we will continue to see, you're not going to see 3 or 4. I mean, at one point, electric was 4 cents. Now the utilities are in the 9s and 10 cents. So, just by, when you're at 4 cents at the utility level, you're not getting 2 cents.
No,
But now, will we return there? Probably not in the foreseeable future, not in anytime soon. So there will be potential for larger savings. When I started, if you could save somebody 0.5 cent, you were doing pretty good. I think those opportunities will continue to be greater than that going forward. The downside for residents is the whole number of that tax bill or that electric bill is going to be higher than it's been in a long time.
right. And all I was trying to get to is that 98 million that you've reported as savings in 12 months would represent at least approximately 3 cents or more
Right, I mean,
on electric because you had a penalty on the gas.
yes.
Okay, that's what,
I mean, I think that's a fair statement. It's overgeneralizing because you have different programs that have, there's programs that are 100% renewable. Those are going to be more expensive. They're not going to see the same type of savings. And so, but yes, if we're just trying to streamline it all into, that's
they're in the box.
I just understand there's a lot more in that box than, but yes, I'd say that's fair.
Thank you.
That it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Anyone else wishing to address council? If not, we'll move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council President. One of our great citizens in the business community, Spirit EMS, has recently been honored as Ohio's EMS Agency of the Year for its enormous support of its employees, and they reach deeply into the communities in which they serve. They began in 2007 with 8 employees, 2007, right? With 8 employees, and has grown to over 150 professionals in both full and part-time roles. Standing out through its innovative approach, they've quickly adapted their training and skills to overcome the highly challenging circumstances and the dangerous environments to provide the best possible care to total strangers at the greatest time of need. Their business model has adopted an earn while you learn program, correct? Offered multiple rounds of training each year and investing nearly $1 million since 2017 in education through its scholarship fund to develop new EMTs, and paramedics. So I'd like to call on Mr. Brian Hathaway and this gentleman to come forward. I'd like to give them a certificate of recognition for great achievement and their work in our communities, which they serve. Brian, thank you very much and congratulations.
the floor.
So that they've got 25% of the city council.
We'll be here that night.
Just real quickly, I'd like to say thank you for this honor. One of the things that I think really is neat for us. So to just understand what this recognition is, we were named the top EMS agency out of 988 EMS agencies statewide. So we were competing amongst every EMS agency in the entire state. The first EMS agency in the state is a private EMS organization to receive this honor. So, but if it wouldn't be for the community support, the great community support that we've had, especially from the citizens of Greenville, where Aaron and I grew up and got our start, this wouldn't have been possible. And many great things have continued to grow and evolve, and we certainly appreciate the city's support, the council's support. We've got many great things to come, working with Ryan on an education and community center to continue to grow what we've already started. And so again, just continue to appreciate, love this community and love the support that they've given us that's allowed us to expand all along Western Ohio of taking care of people. And so I thank you and thank this community for all that they've done for us that continue to allow us to take care of people, which is what we do. And there's a couple of them sitting up there that do the very same thing.
And you should have been in the picture too.
We're good, we're good.
All right, thank you very much.
Brian, thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks. A couple of other things. Brian and I were pleased to have attended the graduation ceremony this past Friday, June 27th, and I know that's what Brian referred to earlier for Police Chief Brian Benji. He graduated from session 91 of the Police Executive Leadership College, or PELC, held throughout the year and in this spring. The vision of PELC is to develop dynamic, visionary leadership to effectively serve and protect our communities, and its mission is to provide unique and innovative leadership education geared towards the demands of today and the needs of tomorrow. Our command staff, as well as every one of our patrol officers, will benefit tremendously from this program that will definitely help in its continued success and what Ryan's doing over there. So, Ryan, congratulations. Appreciate it. Ryan touched briefly about the vehicle theft that led to a pursuit and a crash in downtown Greenville that almost took out our fountain and also our law director's corner of his office in downtown at the 300 block of South Broadway. This suspect fled, but they got him in a short pursuit. And these guys are coming from other areas of this Miami Valley area. They're younger gentlemen that are here to steal cars and create some havoc, and we're not going to allow that, just to be clear. Thefts have been on the increase, particularly, like I said, teens coming in from Dayton and other outside communities. So again, we want to remind you, so don't leave your keys in the car and lock your cars, and don't make it easy for them. So we don't want to have anything in the cars that would invite people smashing your windows and grabbing what they can get. So this is something we don't want to see anymore in the future in Greenville, and hopefully this gentleman will be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Two light things. First of all, I got a text from Rumpke, and I don't know if anybody else got this or not, but they said as a Rumpke alert, throughout the summer your collection may occur earlier than normal. And I think it blind. So just please place your items curbside the night before the service day. I'm sure it's got something to do with the hot weather and trying to get these guys out of the heat as quickly as possible. And then a reminder that the fireworks display, again, is this Sunday night, July the 6th at the Clark County Fairgrounds, and hopefully we have a beautiful evening. 72 degrees, it'd be great.
72.
Thank you very much.
Wishing.
Thank you. Moving on, Safety Service Director, Mr. Dell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Some updates for this evening. Also this weekend, there will be the Ringer Classic Horseshoe Tournament happening in the park all weekend. And then there was a municipal band concert last Sunday, and there'll be another one this Sunday out in our park. And we encourage everyone to go out and enjoy the fireworks and the band and the horseshoe pitching going on in the city of Greenville this weekend. Just a few updates on our projects. Phase 3 sidewalks, all exhibit letters have went out. We have a contract with ADC Concrete. So next step is to schedule a pre-con meeting, which will happen here in the next couple of weeks, and then next council meeting, I should have a start date of when they're going to be out and about. The actual Ohio Concrete sawing that will be taking care of the trip hazards are planning to start after July 15th. And so I should have some information on that as well at next council meeting. Our Schweitzer Street project, next phase is acquiring temporary right-of-way. So we have to hire a consultant and a right-of-way acquisition consultant that will go out and get temporary right-of-way that will allow us to then go outside of the right-of-way. And none of the project, as far as when it's complete, will be out of the right-of-way, but for the grading and the asphalt portion to match everything back up, those temporary acquisitions are needed, so that's our next step there. Solids handling, right now, this week, geopiers are being installed. Basically, a geopier is a soil stabilization where they drill down 100 feet and pack the area with gravel to stabilize the soil. A lot of that was originally in a floodplain area, and as we build that back up, those geopiers are supposed to be installed. The contract was originally, they thought this portion would take 3 weeks. The company that came is working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, and they're going to try to get it whipped up here before the 4th. They're out of Chicago, and they're ready to move on, so that'll give us a couple week leeway on the project. And then after that, next week, they're supposed to start setting all the rebar and start concrete, pouring all the tanks, so that project is moving along rather nicely. The rain has set back a little bit, but making up this 2 weeks time frame is going to be good for us. The water plant, the tank repairs out there are, they're scheduled to start August 5th. And that's going to be about a...
According to that, you recorded music.
Thank you. I was hoping it wasn't my phone. A 2 or 3 week process. And other than that, as Mrs. Dieter mentioned, mosquito spraying is going to happen this week. I will say, I'm not going to sit up here and say that mosquito spraying is safe for people and animals and bees and monarch butterflies, but we do everything in our power to minimize any damage to the honeybees. One is spraying at night when the bees are in their hive. Well, yes, thank you. When they're in their hive. You caught me off guard there. And then we have our equipment calibrated every year. It was just calibrated, so we try not to get a lot of drift, and drift is what causes that. And then the residual effect on the leaves. So what we spray is an adulticide, which kills the adult mosquitoes. It doesn't touch the larva or have a long-lasting effect to the area. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions, but I will pass.
All right, thank you. Moving on, Law Director, Mr. Reeman is unable to be with us tonight, so we'll move on to City Auditor, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope everyone has received their email regarding our fiscal year audit for 2024 has been completed. The city did receive a clean audit, and the information was distributed to all of council. I want to thank the auditor's office for their hard work and diligence through this process and throughout the year. We all work really hard to make sure that we hold that standard very high. I also want to thank the departments for all their hard work and the administration. I owe them my sincere thanks. I know I can be a little picky, but that's my job, so I'm grateful to say it pays off. The preliminary budget for 2026 is due to the auditor by the Dark County auditor by July the 21st, and there is paperwork that has to be completed for that. So like I spoke to you all at the last meeting, the budgets are submitted, the appropriation worksheets were distributed to everyone, and the budget is in balance across the board. So I would ask for a vote to be taken this evening that council is in agreement that I can go ahead and complete the necessary paperwork to submit to the county. And I want everyone to, again, keep in mind, this is a rough draft. This is just the first submission. It's an early submission. And we will be combing this very closely when we get closer to the fall and we have more solid numbers in our revenues. So I didn't receive any other questions, but if you have one now, I'd be happy to answer it.
President, Ms. Kim, I do.
Okay,
You said it's a balanced budget,
it is.
and that's good. The numbers that stick in my head are for 2025, we had revenue of roughly 29, and we had expenses of roughly 33. That was the budget that we approved.
Correct, and as we had discussed before, we use part of the carryover due to the projects that we are currently doing.
Understand. What are the 2026 corresponding numbers in terms of totals to the 29 and to the 33?
I'm not sure, you're looking at the bottom line?
Looking at the bottom line.
Okay, so like I asked in my email, there wasn't any questions, and we could have went over this in detail if you wanted to. I have not looked at the bottom line because I balance it by fund to make sure all of our funds are in balance. And I can tell you, if you want to look through fund by fund, every fund is in balance. And we have not appropriated any capital improvement. We've not appropriated anything for the CIP, as that's always discussed in the fall. So I'm not 100% sure of how.
I'm just trying to understand the 2026 totality budget compared to the 2025 totality budget. Are the expenses down and the revenue down? Are the revenue up and the expenses down?
So that's your question.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Okay, so if you're looking at it as an overall budget, as you do, the answer to that question is the revenue stayed flat, and we reduced the expenses, and we also, in this budget, felt that we would use some of the cash, as we had discussed last year, to pay off the debt. So that reduces the payments as well.
Right.
So that's the answer.
Okay, can I get those absolute values there? Because I also would like to see the 5-month 2025 revenue and expenses so that there's 3 data points. In other words, how are we doing?
Well, we're going to review that in our quarterly meeting, right?
We're going to we're going to vote on a budget before.
Preliminary, so it is a preliminary estimate. It's not actually, we will vote on the final budget towards the end of the year.
Okay. I would like to see those two numbers.
I will be happy to get those for you. You're welcome. Anyone else have a question? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, committee reports. We do have one report out of the ad hoc committee.
The ad hoc committee for drug prevention met on June 30th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The committee held discussion and recommends the following. The ad hoc committee recommends that a reserve of $7,500 be placed against the Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund for 5 years ending June 30th, 2030. This would be bridge funding between the Dark County Prosecutor's Office and the Greenville Police Department. The bridge/reserve of funds is to cover the contingency of the funds not being available in the future and to allow the police department time to build canine support into their yearly budget. A funding request was submitted by Steve Roman with the Boys and Girls Club. Mr. Roman presented an outline of how the Boys and Girls Club reaches our city's youth. The club leadership is in the process of developing a drug program. The ad hoc committee requested that Mr. Roman revisit the issue with the ad hoc committee once the program is developed, including a specific dollar amount for the request. and a funding request was submitted by the Recovery and Wellness Lead Prevention Group in the amount of $6,500. The ad hoc committee reviewed the request. A Recovery and Wellness representative was not present to respond to the committee's questions, so no action was taken. Chairwoman Ely will contact the organization and ask that they attend a scheduled meeting of the ad hoc committee. Respectfully submitted that the ad hoc committee, Dolores Ely, Chairwoman, Chris Norris, Vice Chairman, and Greg White, member.
Mr. President, before we continue, can I ask, is this going to be no one's going to approve this budget or take a vote or a motion until the next meeting? Is that what I'm understanding? Because this can't be late to the county, so the 15th would be the next meeting, correct?
That's council's choice.
I'd make a motion that we let her fill out the paperwork. No reason to be late.
What does that mean?
To approve?
Yes.
Okay.
Approve her filling out the paperwork.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Brown to approve the preliminary budget so we can get that to the county. Is that correct?
Okay, yes, that's what I need.
All right. Discussion? Call the roll?
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
No.
Willman,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And I will get that information to you, Mr. White.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Then we need a.
Okay, then we've heard the committee report as well.
So move that we accept the committee's report.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to accept the committee report. Discussion? Call the roll?
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
Okay, and moving on to ordinances and resolutions. We have 4 for you to consider tonight. The first is a resolution authorizing mayor to enter into contract with Village Green. This has already been given first and second reading.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with Village Green Healthcare to provide transit services. This resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into contract with Village Green Healthcare to provide transit services with compensation in the amount of $22.65 for each person each way.
You've heard third reading.
Make a motion to accept the resolution as presented.
Motion by Mr. Norris to approve the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. Dell?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any estimate of the number of trips this will entail throughout the year?
I do not.
Do we have any on the other ones that we've talked about?
I do not.
So we don't know really the magnitude of revenue from this.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Abstain?
White,
No.
Willman.
Yes.
Brown.
Abstain.
Okay. All right, moving on, number 2, a resolution to terminate agreement with Priority Power.
Vote. Because you had
This
2
was-
abstainings.
4 votes yes.
4 yes, it passed.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
It passed.
Thank you.
Resolution to terminate agreement with Priority Power. This was given first reading.
A resolution to terminate the contract for aggregation representation with Priority Power Management LLC. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to send a notice of termination to Priority Power Management for representation for citizens in obtaining electric and gas aggregation rates.
Move to give this resolution third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
A resolution to terminate the contract for aggregation representation with Priority Power Management LLC.
Motion to adopt?
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Call the roll?
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Number 3, we have a resolution to authorize safety service director to enter an agreement with Traybell LLC. This was given first reading.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into an agreement for aggregation consulting services with Traybell LLC. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into an agreement with Traybell LLC for the provisions of consulting services to obtain gas and electric aggregation discounts for the residents of Greenville.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution, would be second and third reading by title only.
We just read it.
Just read it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into agreement for aggregation consulting services with Traybell LLC.
Motion to adopt?
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt the resolution. Discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, number 4, we have an ordinance amending, it's the codified 23-27, section 852.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 23-27 in section 852 of the codified ordinances of the city of Greenville, Ohio regarding peddlers and itinerant vendors. This ordinance amends ordinance number 23-27 in section 852 of the codified ordinances to allow solicitors, peddlers, and itinerant vendors in the city of Greenville.
Move to suspend the rules on this ordinance, give it second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
An ordinance amending ordinance 23-27 in section 852 of the codified ordinances of the city of Greenville, Ohio regarding peddlers and itinerant vendors. An ordinance amending ordinance 23-27 in section 852 of the codified ordinances of the city of Greenville, Ohio regarding peddlers and itinerant vendors.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Okay, I just have a simple question. So if these peddlers and solicitors come knocking on my door, and I answer my door, and I ask them, do you have your license? And they say no, my next call would be to Chief Benji?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and my next question, oh, I said one, but now I have another one. Second question would be the no solicitation, if that is posted plainly on a door or on your property,
Yeah, they can't ring
they
it.
cannot ring my doorbell, is that correct?
Correct.
All right.
And the third option would be to politely tell me it lost.
I could probably politely do
think you
that.
could.
I think I could handle
I got
that.
confidence in you.
Thank you for having confidence in me.
Mr. President.
So they will have to go to the police department and fill out the paperwork before and have a badge?
Yep. So basically how it reads is they go to the police department, they fill out all their paperwork, and then Chief Benji has 5 days to issue them a badge. And then once they pay that money, there's a fee with that, and then he issues the badges.
Like $1,000 or?
It's $100.
$100.
How long is the badge good for?
It can make it interesting.
1 year.
Okay, so it's,
And they have to renew.
they can come and go within that. Yeah, that was kind of what I was trying to get to, is from a non-legalese perspective, can you summarize this so that we all understand it?
Yep, absolutely.
And that's per person?
Per person, yes.
What is per person?
The badge, like I can't get a badge and then let you borrow my badge.
So if a company is having 20 employees canvassing our city,
Yep.
all right, thank you very much. That
welcome.
sounds more
And
promising.
that's $2,000 then.
That sounds,
Is there any other caveats inside of that, Ryan? I mean, is it just strictly it's a badge program and
It's identification and accountability, and gives our police chief availability to vet and see who's around our city. And they're going to be, the police are going to be the ones out, if someone gets a call, so they'll know them already. It's just a streamlined process. It's very similar to the ordinance we had on the books before, just before they went to the auditor's office. Now they'll go to the police department.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We have a motion to adopt. Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Willman, Brown.
Yep.
Okay, moving on, nothing under old business, nothing under new business. Council representative, outside committee, Greenville Union Cemetery.
Well, we just had a 90-minute meeting, so
Can you summarize that a little bit?
shorten that a little bit. One of the big things that we're doing there, that we just approved tonight, is, I can't even think of what you would call it. Like, basically it's gonna be an awning that's set up, with a wall. That way we can have services there, and it's protected. It's gonna be on a slant, and so the rain's all gonna run off the back, and so if, you know, you got somebody standing on the edge, it's not just gonna keep dripping off the roof. It's gonna be designed to run back there. It's gonna be back there with the columbariums, and like that, we're gonna pour more concrete to connect everything, and that was the big highlight of the evening. We did have a group out that is trying to. They want to market to us to clean our mausoleum and a couple things on the outside using a chemical, and then I think they were going to try and market to some folks for their headstones. So anyway, time will tell on that. We're going to look at the results, and we'll have another meeting about that, I'm sure. I don't know if Steve has anything else.
We're working on, there'll be still some trees to plant, and then we did lose another one.
Yeah, we lost one other tree.
And Gunkles will be out to fix that up. Tracy's going to a conference in August, so we'll appropriate some money for that for him in Youngstown. All them cemetery people will be.
Yep. And the other thing that we need to start working on is the crack sealing and potentially chip sealing what we can to try and save. So I know I believe Tracy said the city had helped out with that in the years past, so he may be calling.
Sure you will.
That's it.
All right. Thank you. Moving on, communications. Nothing? Let's go down to council.
Ely,
I just want to give a brief report on the Dark County Senior Outreach Program that's going on in our community. They have grown from a very small group to a much larger group. And if you read in the Early Bird and in the Advocate, they have a monthly article. They have a very good writer in their midst who just promotes them. So I encourage all of you to see what they have on their calendar. I have to tell a funny story on myself. I've been trying to join in one of their craft days, and my family will tell you, not the best at crafts, don't have patience for crafts, but I really liked the teacher that was doing the program, so I went to her craft class, and it's called Diamond Art, and I'm thinking, oh, this is just going to be too tedious. I'll put two of those little beads down, and I'll say, done. Well, I kind of liked it. And I actually was good at matching my numbers and my colors up, so she gave me an atta girl. So I wanted you to tell all of you, plug into the opportunities that we have for our Dark County seniors. I mean, I know some of you aren't 55 and older, but there's great opportunities out there just to get together, have fellowship, and have fun. And with that, I pass, because you know me, I like to have fun.
Godwin,
Congratulations to Mr. Benji, and good job, Kim, for the audit, and like the Mike Jones for the movie theater. You know, that's, wife and I went up there the other day, and, glad it's still open, that he still has it, and everybody have a safe 4th of July, and I'll pass.
Norris,
Long-winded. Mr. Hathaway, congratulations. I'm glad you brought your dad along this evening, so congratulations on that great honor, taking into consideration it's the entire state. So, Mr. Locker, are we okay on the water flow and broken pipes and everything good? There you go, that's right. We get this temperature to stay fit for us, it'll be a little bit better there. But we appreciate your guys out there and doing the work that they have done in that heat, is something else. Chief Benji, congratulations to you. We welcome Braden and Seth and Cameron to the police department. That's a great thing. When we were talking about it, possible addition of the K-9 and working with the police department, we're glad that things, congratulations on your 1 year as chief too, by the way, and what you've done for the department thus far. We really appreciate that. So, and with that, I will pass.
Rogers?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming up, and also to the Hathaways and Aaron, you too, and John, and I don't know his name, but okay. Well, congratulations to all of you, and it's been a pleasure for me to work with the company. And so anyway, I think we probably are maybe done with everything tonight, and I'm going to pass.
White?
First, thank you to everybody for being here tonight. Congratulations to the Spirit team. That's a great accomplishment. Kim, congratulations on the audit results. Chief, good job with the program. We need to remember that Friday is the 4th of July. People like to set off fireworks. Did we get everything posted on all the communications out that we plan on? Yep. We need to be prepared because we know what's going to happen. Because some people just won't comply. So, oh, you know it's going to happen. Everybody have a great weekend, great 4th of July weekend, and I'll drop it there. Thank you.
Roman?
Thank you. There was some good here about the seniors group. I participated in all those things. It's very fun. We're having a good time, and kind of a cross-section. A lot of people, they do a lot of line dancing, and they play a lot of pickleball.
Yeah.
So that's a good group of people, so that's a lot of fun being with them. Want to make sure, and Clarence said something about Mike Jones. It's a really cool thing because they started the senior day of a very pretty cheap matinee. $3 on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yep.
Once a month. So hopefully we're going to piggyback on that with the Boys and Girls Club. So when they get done, hopefully we'll be able to bring the kids over and see a movie also. So we found that a wonderful thing that he's done for the community. That's good, very cool. Benji, congratulations again. Wonderful. Kim, clean audit, what a great deal. It doesn't happen all the time, and it is special. Yes. So it's pretty cool. One other thing, it doesn't surprise me with the Hathaway family and the business growing and being so successful. John and I go way back. I think I ate a few meals at his mom back in the day. So I know you guys, and I know you continue to do great work, and we certainly appreciate it in the community. So thanks. God bless.
Brown?
I just want to thank everybody for coming. Congratulations, Kim. I sound like a broken record at this point, but still a great job. Brian, again, congrats on the honor there, as well as being one shy of being fully staffed. Now comes the challenge of retaining the talent, and so I look forward to your creative ways to do that. And Brian, Aaron, we've been on first name basis for a long time, and so it's always been a pleasure to work for you guys. Congratulations on the honor. I know particularly 2025 has been a very tough year on a multitude of things, and so what a great thing to hang your hat on for the year. So congratulations again. With that, I pass.
President Schmidt?
Kim, I want to thank you and congratulate your group for another good job there.
Doesn't happen alone.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
team of people.
You got good people around you, that helps, I realize that. Thank you everyone for coming up tonight, we do appreciate the attendance, and congratulations to the gentleman here from Spirit, well known in the community, so continue to do what you do with people who are obviously noticing what's going on out there, so keep it up. Chief, thank you for coming up tonight, and congratulations, and keep up the good work. And
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Brown to adjourn, discussion. Call the roll.
Ely? Oh, yes.
Godwin?
Adjourn.
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Mormon?
Yes.
Brown?